Hello and welcome. My name is Troy Ann Williams, and I am a breakthrough coach. I focus on helping people to break free from their self-sabotage barriers and behaviors. I have a very, very special treat for you today, and that is that one of my wonderful, wonderful clients agreed to let me record his breakthrough coaching session as we went through the forgiveness process. So you're going to get an upfront, personal look at what it's like to go through the forgiveness process. It's raw, it's real, it's authentic. So prepare yourself for a very deep experience of the journey of forgiveness. I want to be able to give you some guidance through this process because people tend to end up trying to be too nice. They try to, stay on the surface level. And so I'm going to be walking with you through this journey to help you take it to a deeper level, or to, really get in touch with what you're really pissed off about. And to be really raw and really honest, because that's what's going to let the air out of the beach ball. So, that's the piece where I'm going to say, you're going to have to trust that you're safe here. Okay. Sure. So here's what we want to do. It's very, 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 very simple. We just want to start with I forgive, and then, typing out the rest of it. Now, we haven't done this before, you and I, so jump in and start anywhere you want, and you can start out light if you want to and go heavier. You can start with the heavy stuff, and I'll guide you as we go along, and I'll ask you questions and things of that nature.
I'm going to start with I forgive my dad for not being there for me when I needed him.
Okay.
I forgive... I'm trying to think of a specific instance because it comes out to me. I forgive people for wasting my time sometimes.
Okay.
Because it doesn't feel like it's one person.
Well, I tell you what. Let me ask you a question. This is a good point that you bring up. Who was your most tumultuous relationship with? Was it with your mom or your dad?
Definitely my dad. I don't tumultuous. I think it might sound over, but between the two, I would say the one I had more a lesser relationship was with my dad.
Okay. All right. Well, let's spend some time working on your dad, because the point that came into my mind as you switched from I forgive my dad to I forgive people is that's another thing that our mind does to us in order to keep us from getting to the really deep stuff that, our mind believes is going to take us to this really, painful place, and our mind doesn't want us to go there, is to jump around and stay on the surface level. So let's just concentrate on forgiving your dad and see where that takes us.
Okay. I forgive my dad for not spending the time with me and using it for work or something else he was interested in.
Okay. So basically he was saying he was more interested in something else than you.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
Would that sound something like I forgive my dad for not being interested in me?
Yeah, it would. I every time I start to think about saying something like that, though, I said, yeah, but, and I keep going, yeah, but, yeah, but he was making sure that we had enough money, because he spent too much time. I forgive him for spending too much time working, but yet that's also how I was able to survive, too. That's where my yeah buts come in.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to try and write that and see how it feels? I forgive my dad for not being interested in me.
I forgive my dad for not being interested in me.
Okay.
I forgive my dad Sorry.
It's okay. This is a good place for that to happen. Can you talk through the tears?
Yeah, I think so. I forgive my dad for being drunk sometimes and putting my life in danger.
All right, let me ask you a question. Now, clearly this is bringing up some sadness. Is there some anger in there as well? Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm asking you?
It's so hard because, particularly today, I was thinking about him, and I thought to myself, maybe he was just going through a lot of the same things that I was going through now, and he couldn't deal with them properly.
Okay. So how about something like that? I forgive my dad for being a human being and having human problems.
I'll say that one makes me feel a lot better saying it and putting it in there.
Okay.
I forgive my dad for being human and having faults.
All right, maybe this is a good place for you to, I forgive myself for being mad at my dad.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do actually earlier today by the thing that I mentioned about that he has his own mistakes that he had to deal with too. I forgive my dad. Well, I forgive myself for being angry with my dad.
Okay. And let's just do it that way. Just go back and forth between I forgive my dad for and I forgive myself for. Because that'll be real effective, I think, in this case. Because since your dad has passed, it is much more challenging to be angry at someone who's no longer with us. There's a lot of guilt associated with that. So,
and also the fact that the 4 years prior to that, with his Alzheimer's, I really didn't get the opportunity. By the time we could really start doing that, he was starting to lose it, and so I couldn't even do that.
Okay. Well, this brings up another one. I mean, you and we've just hit number 7, and we're already getting into some pretty deep stuff. But I'm going to let this. I always let the forgiveness work take us wherever it feels like it needs to take us, because that's how it'll be the most effective.
Things.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to do a little bit of future pacing here. In what ways do I feel different?
You mean before the start of the session?
Yeah, whether it has to do with different from a year ago, different from 10 minutes ago. What's different? That's what I want to know. What's different?
I feel more in control of making the appropriate decisions about my life. I could see it just in already the changes since only last Thursday. I could see what it is I'm trying to do, the walks, the sessions. I'm watching myself take care of myself, not have to go to everybody else to do it.
Okay, what else? What are some other ways in which you feel different?
I feel more hope in my future. I wanted to thank you for the session. I mean, I think it was really important to me, and I want to use this to move forward in a way that is best for me, too.
Okay. I know it's hard to see what, changes you've made, and some of them you won't recognize for,
right.
Months or, a year or so. But, because I've been doing this for a long time, I can see that you've done some really good stuff.
Well, and that's why I do want to continue, too.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you need before we go?
No, I think at this point I'm completely drained.
Okay. All right, you take care.
Thanks. You too, Troy, and thank you very much.
All right, see you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.